Hey guys, Scott, KI5USA, and I'm going to try to answer a few questions today that people have asked me that are getting into amateur radio. And like me, a year ago is when I decided I was going to get my license. Today is January the 10th, 2020. So I've had it, a little over a year now, and I hold a general class license. And I didn't know. I was reading books, and you read all this stuff, and you don't know what they're talking about. And I didn't know what a hotspot was until I got my license, and then started trying to talk on some of the channels that I talk on. So I'm gonna kind of tell people what a hotspot is, and that's what my objective is today. Looking on the screen right now, this is my radio setup at home. I've got a Yaesu 400. That I talk on most of the time, and then I've got a Yaesu FT3, and I've also got an Anytone DMR radio, and up here is my scanner. And I want to show you what a hotspot looks like. These are my two hotspots that I have in my office, and the one on the left is for my Yaesu Fusion radio, and the one on the right is for my DMR radios. And these are just little devices that you use to transmit from your radio or radios using a simplex channel that allow you to communicate digitally over the internet. And most of the digital stuff that's out there today, you get through it over the internet. And so these are just little devices that help you transmit from your radio to the internet. Now I'm going to show you, try to do this quickly. I have another type of device that's also what they call a hotspot. That's called an open spot. This is what I have in my truck. And it stays on all the time. It doesn't hardly use any power at all. It just works off the little USB connection I have in my truck. And it uses the Wi-Fi in my truck to allow me to talk on my FTM 400 and my handy talkies while I'm in my truck. So it's just two different looking devices. This one has a different interface that comes with it. And it was, to me, a little bit harder to set up originally because it wouldn't find my Wi-Fi. But once I got it working, it works great, and I can configure it just by using my phone in my car when I want to change things on it. Now, on the ones that I have here at the house, these are called jumbo spots, and you just get those. I ordered mine off the internet. I just put in jumbo spot, and there's all kinds of videos and stuff on them, and places to buy them and things like that. They basically run about $110 for a good one. But that's where I bought mine. So I'm going to go back down here to my email again and kind of show you. Like I said, this is the one I use on my Yaesu Fusion, and you can see it says Fusion on there. And this one is for my DMR, and it was in the process of rebooting when I took this picture. So those are my two jumbo spots. And when you have them running, they have what's called a dashboard. So I'm going to go up here to my dashboard. And this is my Yaesu Fusion one. And there was last two conversations were these two guys right here that were talking in there. And if you click on their call sign, it'll bring up their basic information, where they're at and things like that. Sometimes people will have a little more information than that. Mine is like this guy. I have a whole bunch of stuff on mine. But that's all up to you. And but they'll have their biography on there, and you can see a little bit about them. And mine has a lot of stuff on it too. Okay, so that's what their dashboard looks like. I'm going to show you my other dashboard. It's up here. We'll go into the dashboard part of it, and we'll see if anybody's in there talking. Let me see if I can get on my channel, on my radio real quick, and at least I'll key up my radio. There you go. And you see my call sign popped up there. If you click on it, it'll have all the information about me in there. Nobody wants to read all that junk. Anyway, these are the two dashboards for the two hotspots that I have. Now, if I want to change something, you hit configuration, and I can go in there and make changes. And I could add more nodes or modes of operation if I wanted to use this hotspot to talk on Yaesu Fusion. I just click this button right here, and I'd have to apply the change, and it would reboot my modem, and then I'd have to go in, and it would pop up another screen down here that says YSF configuration, and I'd have to go in there, and I'd have to tell it what network or what channel or whatever I wanted it to work on. Like this one right here, like I said, is set for TGIF network. And but you'd have multiple boxes like this. You'd have one that says DMR and one that says Yaesu Fusion, and you have to go in there and set them up. So that's how you make changes to a hotspot, to the modes that you want to operate in. And that's what's good about a hotspot is, even though I don't have a D-Star radio, I can talk on D-Star radios, and I can talk on their channels. Even though I don't have, you may not have a Yaesu Fusion radio, you could go in here and go DMR to Yaesu Fusion, and you could talk from a DMR radio onto the Texas Nexus network or any other Yaesu Fusion network that's out there. And I'll show you what that looks like. I've got my FTM 400 on. I just have it turned down, and I run mine in what's called a node, and that means that my radio is hooked up directly to my computer and not going through a hotspot. It's still using the internet of my radio, of my computer. I'm sorry. So it gives me access to every room that's out there on the WiresX network. And these are all the users that are logged in right now. So right now I have mine set to the Texas Nexus. You can see it over here, 21636. And up here are my favorites, and it tells you right here how many people are logged into that room. There's 132 in the America link, and in Texas Nexus right now it says there's 50 people logged in, and that's what you see on the screen right here. And the ones that are in green are carrying on their conversation. I'll turn my radio up for a second, and you might be able to hear them talk. They've stopped now. Of course, when I want to make a demo, it'll always stop. I'll go over here and I'll connect to the America link, and maybe somebody's talking in there. And of all those people in there,
Yeah, okay, Bruce.
there you go. There's two people talking. So you can tell up here in the green who's talking.
Did you pay for it? I'm just curious.
And it does something similar. If you click on their name,
The Ambi chip.
it will
The Ambi dongle.
it'll bring up a little screen and just tell you what their name is and things like that. It's not as detailed as going through the hotspots that I use. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down. But anyway, that's how you make changes when you're running in a node on the WiresX system. Anyway, I hope this helped explain what a hotspot is. It's not intended to teach you how to set it up or use it or anything like that. I just want to kind of give you an example of when somebody talks about a hotspot, what a hotspot is. And you may hear them say, I got a jumbo spot or a mega spot, or let me see if I can put mega spot in here. A mega spot it's just the same thing. It's just a different brand of hotspot. So that's what they're talking about. That's how they're communicating onto whatever radio network they're talking on. And if you have any questions about them, or you're thinking about buying one and you don't know what to buy, shoot me an email, ki5usa.scott with a capital S at gmail.com. ki5usa.scott with a capital S at gmail.com. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. Anyway, 73 Steve, you have a great day, and we'll catch you on down the list.